Echoes of Betrayal by Daniel Jappi, Mazwi.
Chapter 8. Mama, Can You Hear Me? November 1st, 2008. When word reached me that my mother was ill, I didn't think twice. I boarded the next flight to Zimbabwe. Papers or no papers, law or no law, my mother needed me. The fear of deportation was no match for a daughter's heart. I landed in Bulawayo with dust in my lungs and hope in my chest. My uncle met me at the City Hall taxi rank, and we drove through familiar streets. A city etched in memory like a childhood song. He took me to his house in Philandaba. I showered, changed, and braced myself. We left for Mpilo Hospital. The air hit me first, raw, hot, honest. It wrapped around me like a forgotten truth. The sun baked my British paleness into a deep coal black. Within an hour, my skin remembered who it was. I wasn't sure what I preferred anymore, the damp grey sadness of Bournemouth or the relentless, truth-telling sun of Zimbabwe. I wore my orange pencil skirt, thighs brushing against heat, as if trying to absorb strength from the land. My floral, sleeveless blouse left my upper chest bare to the elements. I turned heads. How could I not? I walked like someone who had survived somewhere else. My 36DD breasts, real, not sculpted, held their own rhythm. My buttocks followed, and somehow, between the two, I stayed upright. Zimbabwe is modest to conservative. But Madawu, my uncle's wife who accompanied me daily to the hospital, never frowned. Her silence was my permission slip. I walked in 10-centimeter stilettos, nails crimson as the Matobo Hills at sunset. I had to make an impression, not for anyone else but for my mother. I needed her to see that her daughter had made it, that I was strong, radiant, alive. Maybe it would help her fight harder. But nothing could have prepared me for her. The woman I had left behind 5 years ago, vibrant and sharp, now lay small and motionless beneath stiff hospital sheets. She had suffered her second heart attack, and this one had stolen her laughter. Each day I sat by her bed, cradling her cold hand in my warm one. I whispered prayers into the spiritual ether and pleaded with the stillness. "Mama, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you see me?" But silence was the cruel reply. I spoke anyway, sometimes aloud, sometimes only in the cathedral of my heart. "Mama, you are my anchor, my breath, my map. You gave me life when you had nothing to give. You lit my dreams with the small flicker of street-sold fruit and vegetables. You carved hope into my bones and taught me to walk like I belonged even in lands that didn't want me. You raised a teacher out of poverty, a fighter out of love. You are the tower that held up my sky." I knelt by her bed and confessed what guilt had swallowed. "I'm sorry, Mama. I didn't come back sooner. I got caught up in the illusions of the so-called first world, where streets are clean but hearts are cold. They call themselves developed, but the men there govern like beasts. I tried to obey their rules. I did. But when I heard you were ill again, I threw those rules in the bin. What's the point of surviving if I lose you?" I paused, let tears taste the corners of my mouth, and continued. "If you leave this world, Mama, promise you'll greet my brother. Promise you'll save a place for me. You won every battle life threw at you. Liberation wars, single motherhood, Nakismore's rage. You fed your children with dreams and fruit peels. You taught me how to fight without a sword. If this is goodbye, then know you've left a warrior behind." Madawu held me as we walked out of the ward. Her hand was steady. "Speak it out," she said softly, "or it will turn into poison." And I did. I let it pour. Still, my words felt like a funeral eulogy spoken too soon. but part of me was comforted. I had said all I needed to say, even if her eyes never opened to hear it. Each visit I treated as the last. Each breath she took was a small miracle. Something else began to change within me. I couldn't keep the food down. My stomach revolted, especially in the mornings. I blamed it on nerves, on grief, and on Zimbabwe's expired goods. Supermarkets were tombs of forgotten time, labels scraped off, sell-by dates long gone. But no one cared. You were lucky if you found food, let alone food that cared about a date. So I stopped eating in the mornings, better hungry than heaving. Deep down I began to wonder, was it grief twisting in my belly, the fading whisper of my mother's departing spirit, or simply the echo of my own anxiety?
Every betrayal leaves an echo. Chapter 9 is coming next. Get your copy of Echoes of Betrayal on Amazon and Gumroad. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next chapter.